Hello everybody, here we are at our last hands-on before you do your assessment. This is hands-on 5, create a basic report, and you're going to do a lot of cool stuff in this report, shouldn't take too long. I've already got the file open here, which you should have already downloaded and opened. Okay, so what we're going to do here is start with step 1, which I've already done. Open the parts of a computer data file, save it as hands-on 5 to your computer. So I'll punch F12. Hands-on 5, however you want to do it. There we go. File is saved on my local computer. And number 2, select the entire document and perform the following changes. Double space, font Arial 12 point and justified. So let's see here. I'll go to select and do select all or a Control A, however you like to do it. And I'll change my font to Arial 12 point. Here we go, justified and double spaced. There we go, looks good. Number 3, deselect the document and save. So I'll click here, hit my little save button, and my document saved. It's looking pretty good. Let's scroll through the document, see what we're dealing with. This is just a real short, basic computer report on the different parts of a computer. And it's even called parts of a computer. All right, so real simple report, but I'm going to show you a lot of cool things in here. This report's going to look great once we're all done. Okay, let's go to step 4. Place the cursor at the top of the document and insert a page break. You have a blank page at the top of the document. This is where the table of contents will be inserted. Okay, so I'll do a Control Home. Remember, Control Home takes your cursor to the very top of the whole document. Okay, and Control End, E-N-D, Control End, takes you to the very bottom of the whole document. And I'll insert a page break. How do I insert a page break? There's a few ways to do it. If you're a keyboard crazy person like me, I do a Control Enter. Okay, Control Enter. Or you can go to either Insert or Layout. If I go to Insert, there's my page break button. Or if you go to Layout, you get a bunch of different types of page breaks. Okay, we'll talk about these later, but I just want to do a regular page break. So I'll click page break right here under the Insert tab on the ribbon. And there's a nice new blank page up here at the top. Okay, we'll go back up to my Home tab here. And number 5, center the report title across the page and format it to 20-point bold and red font color. Here we go. And I'll center it, red, bold, or a Control B. Was that 20 point, I think? There we go. Remember, another way to do your font size is Control brackets. The bracket key is something you don't use very often, is it? It's immediately to the right of the letter P as in Paul on your keyboard, and I can do Control, and the open bracket shrinks it down, and the closed bracket increases it by 1 point. You can see the points going up and down here on the font size drop-down list. Okay, so 20-point red font color looks good. Number 6, apply the heading 1 style to the hardware and software headings. So there's my hardware. This report's broken up into 2 sections, hardware and software, and then each section has several supporting paragraphs with associated headings. So I'll click hardware here, heading 1. These styles have already been pre-created by me, so you don't have to worry about making anything. And let's see, where's software? There's software and heading 1. There we go. So my 2 sections now kind of stand apart. Number 7, apply the heading 2 style to the keyboard heading. Then use the Format Painter and apply the heading 2 style to the remaining headings. Okay, so this is the cool part. I'm going to click here and hit heading 2. It indents it, it makes it blue, bolds it, okay, and increases the font size just a little bit. And I'm going to double click my Format Painter up here. If I double click it, it stays on indefinitely. So double click and then very slowly click mouse. Click CPU, click monitor. Now what if you're a little bit too quick with the mouse and you click right here and it looks like that? no problem. Hit the undo button right up here, and you'll have to start again. So I'll just click right here and double click my painter button again. Okay, but no big deal if you accidentally format whole paragraph. And printer, modem, antivirus software. Go very slowly, we're not in a mad rush here. Operating system, application, and network. And I think that's it. Okay, now I can either hit escape or hit the painter button again to turn it off. Okay, let's see here. It's number 8. Apply a 1-inch left indent for each body paragraph. Not just the first line, but the whole paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to go to keyboard here. And I'm going to increase my indent, not the first line. Don't go up here and hit tab. Just click anywhere in the paragraph, and here's your indent buttons right here within the paragraph group. Memorize your groups. That way you can easily find all your buttons. And I'll hit increase indent. There's once, a 1/2 inch, and then twice is 1 inch. My indent marker's at the 1 inch now. Then I'm going to double click my painter button, and then just single click each body paragraph, and that applies that same formatting. The format painter is the coolest, most underused tool in Microsoft Word. I use it all the time, and it shaves off a lot of time off of your word processing. I see a lot of people just manually format one at a time, and what should take 5 minutes takes 20 minutes. There we go. And that looks good. Look how good that report looks as it did just a few minutes ago. I'll click Painter to turn it off. Okay, and let's see here. Where am I? And number 8. Number 9, save the file. And number 10, relocate the cursor to the top of the document and center align the phrase table of contents without the underline. Hit enter once and left align the cursor. Okay, I'll do a control home at the top of that blank page. I'll center align, I'll type in table of contents. I wonder where it's going to go here. How about my table of contents? And then left align my cursor. Okay, is that it? Hit enter once, left on. Yep, that's it. Number 11, select references from the ribbon and click the table of contents button and select automatic table 1 from the drop down list. So references, table of contents, automatic table 1. And look at that. Okay, a nice table of contents. This only worked because I had styles applied to these paragraph headings. Remember, this is heading 1 and software's heading 2 is also heading 1. Okay, whoops, I almost messed up there. Yeah, heading 1 is hardware and software. Heading 2 is all the paragraphs. That's why this is heading 1 hardware. This is heading 1 software. And the other ones that are indented are heading 2. Okay, very cool. It doesn't say 2, but I'm going to save the file because I don't want to lose that. Okay. Number 13. Practice navigating through the document by control clicking a heading in the table of contents. So let's say I want to go down to device drivers. I can hold the control key down and click it. And it runs me right down to the device drivers heading. If I go back up here and I control click modem, I jump right down to the modem heading. Okay, very, very cool. This report's looking good now, isn't it? And it's going to look better. Okay, let's see here. Number 14, using the drag and drop technique, flip the keyboard and mouse paragraphs. Okay, so I'm going to flip these 2 paragraphs. When I flip 2 things, I simply highlight the lower one. It doesn't really matter, but I'll flip the lower one. Go up here, see how that thing's jumping around following me? And drop it. There we go. Now, what if you drop it in the wrong spots? Okay, let's say I highlight it and I come up here and it looks like that. That's a mess, right? Just hit undo and then do it again. Right up here. You put the cursor where you want it to start. and I'll release. And there we go. Number 15, using the drag and drop technique, flip the CPU and monitor paragraphs. Okay, I'll highlight monitor. Whoops, let me undo there. Okay, that's my fault. Back. No, that's good. Mouse, keyboard. Yeah, CPU and monitor. That's my fault. Go up here, in front of CPU. What happened here? CPU and monitor paragraphs. I think it was working. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Guess that was me. I was clicking something wrong. And there we go. Keyboard, monitor, CPU, and I'm looking good. Okay. Number 16. Go to the end of the document, insert a new heading called Utility Software, and apply the heading 1 style to the heading. Make any adjustments if necessary. Okay, so Control End. I'm going to type in Utility Software. And we're going to apply the heading 1 style to it. There we go. And hit enter. Let's see here. Number 17, move the device driver and antivirus software paragraphs beneath the utility software heading. Okay, so we're going to move these two paragraphs here. Doesn't really matter which one. I'll go to device drivers. In this case, I'll probably just cut it. There we go. I cut it and it went to the clipboard. I'll click here, hit paste. There we go. You can ignore that. Right click and ignore that. Okay, looks good. I'll go up here to antivirus software. And since it's kind of far away, I'm going to cut it and not drag and drop it. There we go. Utility software, click underneath here and paste. Okay, looks good. Utility software, device drivers, and antivirus software. Looks good. Now we have a whole new section. Okay, now we have a whole new section to our report. And number 18, fix any formatting issues, if any. And I think we're okay. Remember, if you have a formatting issue, just use the format painter from a good spot up here somewhere and use your format painter. All right. Now, unfortunately, if you look up here at our table of contents, it has not updated, has it? My antivirus software is still here. The device drivers are still here. The keyboard and mouse is still where it was. Okay, we have to update it. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm a right clicker, so I'm going to right click anywhere in the table of contents and go to update field. Then update entire table and click OK. There we go. Now it's all updated. You can click down here. Okay, looks good. My contents, my hardware, my software, and there's my utility software now because we have styles applied. Okay, if I control click device drivers, I jump right down to it. Okay, so my table of contents is updated. Looks great. If you want to update it again, if you move stuff around, always right click, go to update field. You can also click up here where it says update table and update entire table. Okay, looks good. All right, let's see where we are. I'll save the file. I haven't saved it in a while. There we go. Number 20, yeah, verify that the table of contents is updated, and it has. Save the file, did that. Number 22, insert the filigree cover page and change the title to Introduction to Computers with your name as the subtitle. So it doesn't matter where I am. Insert, cover page, and let's look for filigree. There it is. If you don't have filigree, you can just pick another one that looks good. And document title, Introduction to Computer, whoops. And subtitle, by William B. Berkowitz. There we go. Looks good. Okay. Number 23, insert the phrase parts of the computer as a header in the upper right of every page with a bottom border. So I'll just come right down here and go to home, write a line, and I'll do parts of a computer. Okay, and I'll put a bottom border. There we go, and there is our header. One part I don't like is my margins. I'm going to change my margins here. 1 inch top and bottom. Yeah, my top margin was off a bit, so I just fixed that. I just double click my ruler. There's my margins, and it's all 1 inch. Okay, that looks a lot better. And my parts of a computer header is right up here. If you want to match the font, you can highlight your header. It doesn't matter where. Home, Arial. There we go. Now it looks like the rest of the document. Okay, that looks good. Let's see, number 24, insert page number in the bottom center of every page with a border above the page number. So I'll just click right here in the bottom section of my page, and I'll go to page number. Don't pick bottom of page, pick current position, and I'll put a plain number in there. There we go. And I'll do a top border. See where my borders are here. Top border. There we go. And I double click the gray area. It takes me out of header and footer mode. And now my document's looking pretty good. Page 4. So it looks like it's almost a 5-page document with my header and my footer. I'm going to zoom out here. Control scroll wheel. I showed you that earlier. And there's my report. Okay, looks pretty good in just what, 10-15 minutes? So you can modify the cover page a little bit. Yeah, date. Put the date in there. There we go. 123 Any Street, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37921. Right click Knoxville and fix it. There we go. And that looks good. Now you can change the cover page and all this data will go along with it. Like if I go over to here and do insert cover page and I pick this one, okay, the information goes along with it. Like I spelled that wrong. Hang on here, let me do undo. There we go. Introduction to computers. Okay, looks good. Let me get rid of that. And now my document looks good. Let me zoom out. Okay, looks really, really good. Let's see here. Insert page number, number 25, save the file, which I've done. 26, modify the heading 1 style to the font color. So the font color is dark blue and bold. Okay, so we're going to right-click the heading 1 style here. Actually, you could also do it this way. Let me do this. Let me change the font color. Yeah, dark blue. And right there. Oh, there's dark blue down there under standard colors. There we go. Now I'm going to right-click it, or right-click this, my heading 1. Update heading 1 to match selection. There we go. Cool. Now software should have already done it too, and it did. Very cool. Okay. Modify the heading 2 style so the font color is just blue. So let's see here. I'll change this font color to blue. Then I'll right-click Oh, whoops, my fault. Right click up here, update heading 2 to match selection, and it fixes it everywhere. Styles are very, very cool. I'll save the file, and my report's looking really good. Change the font color of the report title to dark blue. So I'll just change this to dark blue. There we go. So we have like a bluish theme to our paper here. Looking good. Let me zoom out. Okay, looks good. All right. The title, step number 29, save the file and leave it open. Create a new blank document, then return to the parts of a computer document. So I'm going to hit my new button up here, or do a Control N as in Nancy. And there's a new file. Let me zoom in here. There we go. And then return to the parts of a computer document. So I'll go down here, and there's my parts of a computer document. Let me zoom in. Turn on the, number 31, turn on the Office clipboard and clear it. So turn on the clipboard, it's over here, and I'll do clear all. There we go. Individually copy the mouse, monitor, and network software paragraphs. So there's monitor and copy. Put it on the clipboard over here. Mouse, copy. Now I've got 2 items over here. And network software. Scroll over here. Make sure you get all the way at the end, even a little bit past the punctuation period right there. And copy. And there it is, all 3 paragraphs. Okay. Switch over to the blank document and paste the paragraphs in this order. Network, monitor, mouse. So I'll go back over to that blank document. Turn on my clipboard. And let's see, network, monitor, and mouse. And now my 3 paragraphs are pasted into a new document, even with the formatting. Looks good. Then it says, close this file without saving. So I'll go to File and Close, don't save, and I'm back over here to my parts of a computer. Save the parts of a computer document and exit Word. All right, I'll clear the clipboard, you don't have to, but I will. I'll save the file one last time, and there is my report. We did a lot of cool stuff in this report. We did a table of contents. I'll update it one more time here, make sure it's all updated. Okay, looks good. All right, I got a cool title page in here. Correct the spelling on that. Parts of a computer. You can zoom out and see the whole report on one screen. That was a Control scroll wheel again. I added a couple paragraphs. We copied and pasted. We dragged and dropped. We used the format painter. We indented. Okay, we applied styles and we modified styles. We did the table of contents. We did headers with borders, headers and footers, with borders at the top and bottom. One common thing I get asked a lot, especially by college students, is how do I keep the header from appearing on the title page? Okay, when you go up here and you're doing your header, you want when you're on the title page, you want to hit different first page. That way it will not appear. Okay, it'll not appear on the title page. Okay, that's that little important checkbox right there. Okay, we'll cover headers and footers in a more advanced course. All right, but here's a basic headers and footers scenario with borders. Okay, and page numbering. Looks good. Okay, this report looks good than what it did, 15-20 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and stop here. After this, you're going to do your assessment on your own. Okay, do your last knowledge check if there's any more knowledge checks left. And thanks. This pretty much, except for your assessment, this pretty much completes this lesson. And I'll talk to you soon.